What up, YouTube? Thanks for visiting the channel. Brother Minister Cepeda coming at you with another video. As always, I start by encouraging you guys to visit my website at treelifeoutreach.com. Familiarize yourself with the services that I provide. It is a holistic ministry. What my goal is my goal is to provide you guys with nourishment for your mind, your body, and your spirit, with a unique blend of the emergence and I synthesize experiential-based philosophical consultations, ISSA certified fitness training, youth mentoring, and inspirational and motivational teaching. So I like to find that balance that we all need with our mind, body, and spirit. And I send you guys to the website so that you guys can read over the bio and know that this thing that we call God is real. Whatever you choose to refer to it as, it's real, it's alive and well, it's still on the throne, and it's still doing miracles. So even in these tough times where the world seems to have, by all practical accounts, become unhinged, he nevertheless shows his mercy, because it's only because of his mercy that I'm here. Some of you guys have experienced similar or like circumstances of that in which I have. And again, go to the website, treelifeoutreach.com, read the bio. And some of you guys know within your own self that he's still real. We always hear on the news about the different stories of things going bad, people doing foul things, but we never hear the stories about the people who are overcoming each and every day. Each and every single day, someone has created a new life for themselves, either internally, externally, and or in what I hope to be most cases, both. But in any event, today's topic, guys, is called Become a Questioner, or the world needs more questioners. Okay? Now, I want to encourage you guys, for my questioners that are already out there, keep right on questioning. Don't go for the greatest or the newest headline. Don't go for the trends, the fads, whatever they're telling you is in style, whatever they're telling you is the truth. Question it. Whatever I tell you is the truth. Question it. Whatever your parents tell you, question it. Certainly, whatever the government tells you, question it. Become a questioner. And if you're already a questioner, continue to be a questioner. Never mind the mockery that may take place. Be a questioner. Think about it, guys. You can't have an answer if you don't have a question. All you have is people putting forth their supposed answer. So you can't, the questions is the only thing that leads to the answer. And we're not raised, we're not taught to be questioners. We're taught to conform. This sadness that has engulfed our country, and our country being what they call the leader on a global level. So whatever our country do, others mimic and follow. So unfortunately, we haven't been taught how to use our capacities of critical thinking, just basic God-given common sense to rationalize and come up with our own opinions, our own perspectives. We're not taught that. We're taught to conform from day one. Well, so all these many years where we thought we were being educated and we thought we were sending our kids to school to be educated, no, it wasn't education. It wasn't education, it was indoctrination. They were being indoctrinated into a certain pattern of belief, a certain system, by the way, that's designed to drain them of their resources, their time, their energy, their hopes, their dreams. And the most important thing you have on this planet, you have nothing on this planet if you don't have time. Because the moment your time is up, Europe. So we've always been taught to just go along. It's recess, go outside. It's study time, sit down. It's school season, go to school. School is out, don't go to school. Learn this lesson, learn that lesson, do this, be that way, whatever it is. We're taught to just go. Do what you're told. Do what everybody else is doing. So then we grow up and we become adults, and this same pattern permeates itself in every aspect of our lives. No one's questioning anything because you haven't been taught that way. You've been taught to just go along. Your mom tell you, the Bible tell you, your dad tell you, your friends tell you. And so we become these adults who, when the news says something, that's what we do. When the trend and the fad says something, that's what we do. And so you end up with a lot of basic robot-minded individuals or a robot-minded collective. Well, we can tell them anything. We can fire up our news machine. We could print it. We can put it in on television. We can start this trend, and guess what? If we say this is hot and we can get enough people doing it, guess what? That's what's hot. Style, fashion, beliefs, viewpoints. No one's questioning anything, and I'm here to challenge you guys to become a questioner. It's the only way you're going to ever have an answer. We already know the path. I'm constantly speaking on the price that one has to be willing to pay in order to embrace their uniqueness, to discover and display their authenticity. Because wherever you go now, whatever the trend is, you can't go basically and buy a hamburger and say, I like this hamburger with no pickle, and then they put pickles on it, and you return it and say, I wanted this with no pickle. Everyone's in there looking at you like, well, man, it's just a hamburger, man. We don't trip about things like that. You just get the burger, you take the pickles off. Because this is what society says. Now, that may have been a way out example, but I think you get the point. It's where whatever society is saying, this is the way things go, the moment you step out of that with anything different, then you're considered an outlaw. You're branded as a troublemaker, labeled as a conspiracy theorist, because you didn't buy the story that they said about this or about that. Because you said, okay, wow, that seems like it makes good sense. I can see why that happens. I'm going to do my investigation to prove it. Even if you're trying to prove something to be true that you already believe to be true, the mere fact that you have the audacity to question it makes you a target. So we end up with a generation of people who, man, if we can get our print media going, we could steer these guys. We could tell them when they're supposed to go this way, when they're supposed to go that way, what they should be eating, which is a topic of itself. For years, decades, they put out the food pyramid. No one questioned it. Only for several decades down the line of them having people eat in accordance with that pyramid do people begin to actually question it. Only to find out that the pyramid is exactly upside down. When you go look at the food pyramid, do your own research. Again, be a questioner. Don't take my word for it. I don't care if it makes good sense, makes you feel fuzzy-wuzzy inside. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be taking my word. You're a questioner. And if you're not, that should be your goal. But they found out after several decades of having society eat in accordance with this food pyramid that it is 100% upside down. The pinnacle should be at the bottom. The foundation should be it's top to bottom, it's bottom top and top to bottom. Literally. The foods they say you need the most of, you need the least. Foods they said you need the least, you need the most. But no one was questioning it. No one's questioning 9/11. No one's questioning if this race of people is who they say they are. No one's questioning anything. And this is why oftentimes they're referred to as sheeple. Because a sheep doesn't question anything; it just goes wherever the person that's in charge of the sheep, wherever the shepherd sends them and direct them, he can send them right into the mouth of an alligator that's fully spread. He's not going to question it. He's just going to go. So I don't know about you, but for me, I demand more. And I'm not out trying to disprove everything. But I'm out to know what is what is. You don't get to tell me what is and what isn't. And some of you guys, particularly of an older generation who may be watching this, you're sitting back in your twilight years and you're realizing that what I'm saying is true. And there's no do-over. Not for you, not for me, or anyone else. So the sooner we can start this process of becoming a questioner, and please get me right, we're not talking about somebody that's just running around every time he hears something, he's questioning it. He's so bent out of shape with questioning things, he wouldn't recognize the truth if he walked up and smacked him in the face. We're not talking about that, guys. And I think if you're still watching this video, even if you clicked on this video, you know that's not what we're talking about. We're talking common, day-to-day practicality of questioning things, important things, particularly the things that just gives you a little bit of about, as Arsenio Hall would put it. This is how they can tell us that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and sent all them troops over there. And no one questioned it. Once they started the war and people started coming home in body bags, then the questioners, who, don't get me wrong, there were some questioners that were always on the job. Some people were just natural questioners. And you just don't get to walk up to them and tell them anything. Especially if it doesn't pass the smell test. They're going to be all over that. You can't walk up to no real natural, or someone who's maybe not so natural, but they put in their due diligence to up their skills in that regard. You can't just walk up to them and tell them anything. No, they got a question for you. Oh, you said what now? Okay, well then, if that is the way that it is, okay, fine. I've done my research. The research lines up with the fact that that's what it is. Now, I'm still going to question, why is that like that, though? Because in my view, it could be a different way. It could be a better way. It's a way that's not needed, whatever. So now that I've proven that it's that, if it's something that's important to me, physically, spiritually, morally, societally, something that has an effect on society, if it's important enough, then I'm going to research. I'm going to continue to research. I'm not just going to say that's the way it is and so be it. Now, I'm going to question, and I encourage you guys to question, okay, well, what's an alternative way? If it's like this, then why isn't it like that? again, so before one of you hot dogs out there decide that this guy's promoting a mindset that says, hey man, whatever society says, it's a lie. Whatever society said, you should what? You know, for any hot dog that would set forth that type of, if that's what they're getting out of this video, then you make sure you hit the dislike button fast. Because there's no place for you on my channel to begin with. And for those of you who are learned enough, who can see why the world needs more questioners. There's enough sheeple. This is why we're in this situation right now. Businesses closed down. Whole different industries wiped out. The fitness industry may not ever recover. Certain farmers wiped out. They didn't wipe out the pork belly industry, but it sure put a dent in it, and so forth and so on, because no one has the kahunas to be a questioner. And when you come across something that doesn't meet the smell test, then go public. You don't have to go public by calling the news media, whatever is appropriate for you and your situation and your circumstances to meet the definition of going public. That's what you should do. You tell your wife, ask her to tell her co-workers, tell your son, ask him to tell his schoolmates, whatever. But the world needs more questioners. And I think that's you, or you wouldn't be watching. If you're past the age of 30, you already know. Yeah, if you look back, you wasn't educated, you was indoctrinated. This is the way it is, this is the way it was, this is what you do, and you don't ask any questions. You get in line when everybody else gets in line. You go to recess when everybody else goes to recess. You go to work when everybody else go to work. When it's the weekend and we've decided that you've slaved hard enough for 5 days in a row and it's the weekend and you go out and party or relax or whatever just like everybody else. You haven't questioned a single thing. And now we're at a place to where we need more questioners. People who are bold enough to say, hey, look, that doesn't add up. And I'm going to question that. And if I have to be mocked, labeled, talked about, what have you, this is what I'm going to do, because that's your duty. That's my duty. It's to question things. That's a natural function of human existence, to question things. But we have been beaten down and brainwashed and indoctrinated to the point to where even just in basic society, you ask a question, you're a trouble starter. You put forth, I don't care if it's a theory or facts that contradict what the mainstream is saying, then you're a conspiracy theorist. So do what you need to do to become a questioner in all the matters that are important to you and all the matters that may behold your family. And when I say all, again, I'm not talking about every single matter. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. But there's a myriad, there's a limitless amount of topics and situations and information that's being put out there that you know within your heart should be questioned. So I'm here to encourage you to question it. And to do what's necessary, like I typically say, do what's necessary. If there's any lumps and bruises for you to endure them. Don't forego your desire for truth because you may have to suffer some injustices along the way. This is the price we pay, guys. This is the price we pay. You can go right down the line of people who have been willing to lay down their lives for something that they went public about, questioning or going public with an announcement based on some information that they discovered as a result of them questioning. And they were willing to lay down their lives for it. So I'm not preaching and advocating this reckless lifestyle that says, hey, you just go do this and you just go do that and you don't think it through, you don't rationalize it, you don't weigh it all out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying if there's something that's important enough to you, then regardless of the consequences that might be at hand, then I encourage you guys to do it. We're not talking about no reckless behavior. We're not talking about endangering anybody's lives or harming anyone. We're just talking about exposing basic day-to-day information that you know needs to be exposed / Eric Snowden. And that's just one modern example of someone who said, hey man, should these guys be doing this? I mean, I know I work for these guys. I know they pay my bills and I get my paycheck for them and I'm committed to doing right by them. But should they be doing this? And based on that question, he was revealed an answer that caused for him to show incredible courage to go forth with. He ain't been on American soil since then. And here you are, not you literally, but here are some who are scared to question what their teacher told their kid at school. Scared to question why the boss have them doing this and not everybody else. Scared to question whatever. I mean, let's just be real, man. That's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ultra ridiculous. If you think about it. So the world needs more questioners, man. Question it. When they news media is pushing this or they're pushing that, or your school district pushing this or pushing that, your preacher, your pastor is pushing this and pushing that, and whatever it may be, man. If it's something that may something that you or your family may benefit from knowing the accurate answer, the real answer, if it's something that could help society as a whole, and you know it, and there's something telling you to question that narrative or that information that's being portrayed, question it. And don't think twice about it. So that's what I have for you guys right now. Didn't want to be too long-winded. It's just that, when you see a whole bunch of people going to the left or going to the right, instead of just jumping on the bandwagon and going to the right with them, you might want to question why they're going that way. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. And if you're feeling bad, go make somebody feel good. You will feel better. And if you're feeling good and you go make somebody, if you're already feeling good, you go make somebody who's feeling bad, if you make them feel good, then you'll go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal. Just try it. Just try it. And we're not talking about walking out there and finding those people who are comfortable in their misery. We're talking about finding people, not those who are only comfortable in their misery, because some people have developed a tolerance to their misery. They don't think there's any way out. So I'm not talking about that. I meant people who are comfortable in their misery and they're determined to stay there. Those ain't the kind of people you want to waste your positive energy on. Okay? So we're talking about people that are receptive, and you use your own discerning accoutrements and skill set. And if they are receptive, pop off something to make them feel good. You see that they're feeling bad. They're not somebody that's just feeling bad, and your discernment will guide you through. But if they're feeling bad and you make them feel good, you're going to feel better. So if you're feeling bad and you're going to make somebody feel good, you're going to feel better. And if you feel good and you're going to make somebody who's feeling bad feel good, then you'll go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal. Did you get it? Hey, look, I love y'all, man. Y'all stay blessed because y'all are blessed. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what I can do to improve the video. Tell me your thoughts on the topic. If there's any video you guys requesting, no topic is off limit with Brother Minister Cepeda. I dare to investigate all that a man may be able to imagine and or conceive. So that's what it is. I love y'all. Peace. Holla back.